If you were brought up in a different way, you'd act in a different way right now. That might sound like the most ridiculous common sense that anybody can ever say to you, but it's true. And it's something that we don't really appreciate, the fact that a lot of our decisions today are still based on childhood experiences. And we think like, okay, yeah, I'm over it. I've gone past it. Like I've done my healing. I've done my inner work. I've worked on myself, and it's like I'm not making a decision like based on an experience a 6 year old had. But no, it's true. You are like every day. There's so many decisions that you're making today that are based on an experience of an 8 year old, of a 6 year old. And that's not to shame you, because it's like that's just the way our mind works. Our mind is a pattern recognition machine. And then when we see something happening, to avoid pain in the future, we just continually, yeah, let's like make decisions to avoid the pain. So, with that being said, when you are stepping into this role of entrepreneurship for the first time and you're going into a space where you are going to take up more space. It's not just, I'm going to get my paycheck at the end of the month and that's it. I'm just going to do the bare minimum and that's it. It's like, no, the amount that you make and how successful you are in this is fully down to how much you show up. And if we take that and combine it with the earlier this fact that I was talking about, of like how all of our decisions from the past shape the future and shape your present, and that right now there are decisions that you're making that are based on these past experiences. Like, can we not see what the issue is here? The issue is that these past experiences are defining the way you're acting right now, and that in combination with this change in path where you are going against what you've been taught, what everybody's telling you to do, is the reason why it's just not clicking. And just like thinking, oh, another few months is going to shift it. Like, do you realize that we are almost at the end of the year? Like, that's correct. Like, September, it's end of September right now. By the time I release this, it's going to be like October. Right, I'll probably release it tomorrow. By the time people actually see this, it's going to be like November, December, January. We're going to be already in 2026. 2025 is, it's here, but it's passing by. And this is the thing of like thinking that one of the biggest like lies we've been taught is that time heals, or time is something that forgets. So it's just like, yeah, just give it time. No, no, that's not the case. Time isn't going to change it. You're the one who's going to have to change it. And that's not going to change just by giving it more time. If you're walking down the wrong road, like if you're trying to get to like the shops and you don't know where you need to go, but you just blindly decide, okay, I'm going to go left, but actually it's right. Do you think more time is going to get you there faster? It's actually getting you further away from where you're supposed to go. And it's not the time that's actually going to shift it. It's understanding like a paradigm. Like if in that moment you had like a what you call it, a drone, a drone that could go above and see exactly where everything is, and then you're like, oh wait, I need to go that way. Like that's a paradigm shift from there. So what I'm saying is like, instead of just going down that same path that you've been going on these last few months and being like, oh yeah, just more time's going to solve it, like let's create a paradigm shifting movement up like a drone that can allow us to have a bird's eye view and be like, okay, now we're going to go this way, and that's the direction. And I feel like this is the metaphor I want to kind of imprint today and leave with you, is that yeah, time isn't going to solve the problems, and we are end of September. If you feel like you're somebody who resonates with the earlier story that I was telling about how our past shapes our present and dictates our future as well, and then you realize that none of us were kind of brought up to think differently. none of us was brought up to even question. What we were actually brought up to do was obey and not make noise and not stand out and not be annoying to our parents and not be a nuisance to our teachers and just fit in so you can do the tests and just shut up and do your exams and get a good grade and get a job that is like decently paying. And if you think that that was the case, if you think that that is going to help you get to where you want to, like that level of thinking, then you're just as lost as that person walking to the left when where they actually need to go is to the right. So the reason I'm telling you this is because I was like lost. I was super lost. Like I felt like a few years ago, I was working for a consultancy firm and it was like my dream job. And like it was what I built up to. Like I'd worked for it for about 5 or 6 years. And everything about it was like, this is what I need to do. Like I even turned down jobs that were paying more money just to work for this firm because it was more prestigious. And when I got there, something just fell off from the start. And yeah, just like stuff was happening where it's just giving me a signal of like, this isn't it. And then there was one moment when I remember like I was waiting for to get like this uh, air mileage. Like I was flying quite a lot for this company at the time. I was doing a lot of like traveling, and basically they gave me like access to the first class lounge through the airports, and I was like, okay, I was really looking forward to having all this. Like you get like free this, free that. You get to go and experience the first class lounge. I remember the first time when I went there, I saw this guy there at like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., just like drinking alcohol. Like he looked like me, but in 10 years' time, maybe in 20 years' time, just like a bit fatter. At the time, I was gaining weight and I was smoking, but he was smoking, he was drinking, and he looked like a version of me who continually went down that path. And that was a moment when I was like, no, I need to change it. And it wasn't because of myself. It was just like a fact of reality just hit me, or just like a moment just hit me where I was like, okay, this is a possible future. And I'm like, okay, I don't want that to happen. So it just like I just made a decision to change my life from that moment. But if I didn't see that, I would have continued gone down that path. And what I noticed was that the path that was laid out for me, the one that everyone told me would bring me happiness, would bring me success and fulfillment, that wasn't it. And it's just not it. And then the other path of entrepreneurship on the other side, I was not prepared for it. Like, you don't learn the skills of entrepreneurship in school. Well, at least I didn't. Maybe you went to a better school than me, but like, I didn't learn that in school. I wasn't taught critical thinking on a deep level. I wasn't taught how to kind of think for myself. I think for in most cases, like all of these experiences that I've had over the last few years have taught me a lot more about entrepreneurship, a lot more about how to show up for myself than any kind of formal education. So, what I'm trying to get through to you in this message today is that if you feel like this entrepreneurship path is like a easy thing to not have a job, then it's not for you. Like if your goal is to not work for someone, then don't do entrepreneurship, because you need to work for yourself in entrepreneurship. Like you need to manage yourself. You need to become the boss and the worker at the same time. So if the goal is to not have a boss, then find a job with an easy boss. Like just do that, because that kind of mindset will not lead to a happy time. Like you can get by, and there's like always exceptions to the rules. Like some people who can kind of find their way, but ultimately, to be um, productive in entrepreneurship, you need to have in equal parts these three key personalities, and they need to all be able to show themselves at the right time in your life so that the entrepreneur, the manager, and the technician, and these are the ones who are performing different roles, but they're all equally important. The entrepreneur is the one who has the vision, who has the purpose of where to go and the direction of where you should go. And then the manager is the one who keeps track of everything and makes sure that you're actually getting there. And the technician is the one actually doing the hard work. Now, in the end, you can actually like hire people to take on these roles, but to start out, you need to be all three. And most people, they just focus on one. Like either they just have the vision and they're like, oh yeah, I know what I want to do. I have the vision. I'm going to do it. Other people are just like, or manager, they're like, all right, I'm going to make a list and then a list about the list. And then I'll create another list within the list. And then I'll have like 5 lists and then we'll get somewhere. And then somebody else will be like, all technician. I'm just going to do the work. I'm going to go there and do everything. I'm going to, if I'm a facilitator, I'm just going to just focus on just getting as many sessions as possible. But actually, it's a combination of all three in a perfect marriage. Not a marriage of three, but like a combination of all three that actually brings a brings you towards a place of a mature business. And then you can start hiring people, because what you'll notice is that combining those three in the right moments allows you to shine. Like there's elements of you that is the entrepreneur, that is also probably the technician and manager. Not many people have that within us. It's something we have to kind of cultivate. But this is just my little bit of a message towards you for today. Ask yourself, which one of those three are you more? And which one do you need to develop the most? And if you can, just write it in the chat. Thanks.